What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm very excited because we're delving into something new on this channel, something I've been really looking forward to and researching thoroughly for the last couple months, and that is kind of like the finance and business side of Pokemon. And today I really want to delve into how the coronavirus may have impacted the Pokemon community. And those of you in the US will know that we were all given, or most of us were given, stimulus checks. And some people do believe that was the catalyst for Pokemon basically exploding and you guys seeing all the crazy prices that we see today. If you go onto PSA or even onto eBay, onto the sold listings, you'll see that cards are going for an obscene, historic amount of money. Now, I have been doing some research. I've been trying to find some graphs, some data to kind of give some backing to this theory. And of course, the set which fluctuates the most and has the largest increases, of course, the base set, the original set, the first printing of Pokemon. So here we go. Here's a graph as an example. This is one of the only places I could kind of like pull some decent data from. And this is the base set, first edition. And this is for PSA cards, not the booster boxes. We'll get into booster boxes a little bit later. And you can see here that we start in October 2016, and there's a slight gradual increase all the way to basically the next year, and it plateaus from October 2017 to basically October 2019. The price goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit, and rises steadily over the course up here. Now we see a little bit of a dip, and that little dip there is around the time coronavirus starts affecting the world around us. It's spreading from China and it's entering the Western world, the European countries, North America, and you start to see loss of jobs and all that kind of stuff. But then you see a sharp increase in April. Now, what happened in April? April 13th was the date that the US government said they would be handing out stimulus checks of over $1,000 to everyone who basically pays taxes. You didn't have to be a US citizen. I'm not a US citizen, and I got my stimulus check. Weirdly enough, my girlfriend, born in the US, has worked in the US. She didn't get a stimulus check, so it's very, very odd, but that's another story. But here you see, look, there you go. On April 30th, that is when we kind of hit a huge mark. We're looking at $167,000 worth of PSA 10s being sold on that kind of area, and that is a historic price for Pokemon PSA first edition base set cards to be going for. And it's steadily increasing still. We're well into August, and in August we're still hitting record prices almost every other day. If you just go on eBay sold listings, there seems to be a crazy new historic price on something. So this is just really interesting. Is it just a coincidence that we hit an all-time high when the US is basically given free money? Even if you still have your job, you were given that money, and it's a lot of money, a lot of disposable income, and that could have pulled an enormous amount of people back into Pokemon. With the release of Darkness Ablaze and everything, the hype around it, people knowing that Pokemon is an investment that continues to build traction. It's quite possible. So we go into something else here. And this also kind of shows that people have had a greater interest. There's been more sales than ever. Again, around the time, here we go, is, end of March is when the stimulus check comes in. The beginning of April, the stimulus check comes in, and we see a huge spike in the number of sales in the Pokemon world. Is it a coincidence? I'm not so sure. I'm not 100%, but the data does suggest that there could be a correlation here. Now, next, what I want to do is I want to go onto a website that was created by a Pokemon analyst. Basically, he is very heavily involved in selling of booster boxes, which he sells by himself, of base set, of jungle, of Neo, all first edition stuff, high-end Pokemon stuff. Now, people with a disposable income are wanting to kind of buy this stuff. I don't really want to look at Darkness Ablaze. There's no data there. Sword and Shield, there's no data there. There's no price increase because it's still all in retail. That's why I'm not really looking at the sales and the value of the sales. I want to look at the vintage stuff, the more expensive, the more high-end stuff. So let's start here with Base Set Unlimited. And as you can see, month on month, we have had an increase of PSA 10. So in April to May, we had a 39% increase in PSA 10. That is the highest increase of any given month. And then in May, it increased again to 29%, and then in June, it also increased again to 13%. But those price increases were a lot lower than they were before. Same goes for the box price. 27% increase in the value of a base set unlimited, but only a 3% and a 6% increase in the months after it. It's very weird and it's out of line. It's not kind of linear. It's 27% compared to 3% and 6%. It's not kind of it doesn't have a correlation at all. It's totally different, and it's something that you kind of have to take into account. But let's see if it's the same for the other boxes too. So let's go into Jungle. First edition, very expensive box, around $9,000. The box price was an 11% increase, but in May it was 13%, and then the box price was 6% in July. But let's have a look at the PSA 10s. 28% increase, 2% increase, and 17% increase. Again, this figure stands out among the rest. And let's go into Fossil. Now let's remember, Fossil and Jungle were printed quite a lot more than, for example, Shadowless base set or first edition base set. Again, box price up 12%, no different in the following month, and only a 4% in the next month. There was a decrease, in fact, in the PSA values in the month after April, so May. So you can see 18% to -2%. There's that huge increase in April. Same goes again for Team Rocket. Here we go. Team Rocket first edition box price up 25%, and then only 7% for the following 2 months. Let's go to Gym Heroes, 25%. I mean, you're getting, you can see what I'm getting at. There's a huge difference between, the Aprils and then the May and Junes. And to me, it seems as though that would be correlated to the coronavirus and the stimulus check. Again, 38% increase for a first edition gym challenge, and then only 11% and 5%, 40% up in PSA 10s, but only 2% in July. It's again 19% zero. I can keep going through all of this, and it basically gives you the exact same thing. Let's just look at Neo Revelation, a very, very expensive set at $18,000, 23% up, then 0% change, and then a -10% change, kind of lowering it quite a bit. So I mean, I'm just going to go on the screen here and keep showing you guys, but to me it seems as though that in April, there was a huge increase in the Pokemon price of first editions, whether it was base set, whether it was the box prices, whether it was PSA 10s, whether it was total sales. It seems to be correlated with the coronavirus, and I thought that was just really, really interesting that, during a pandemic, something very simple like Pokemon can suddenly become extremely popular and extremely valuable. But something that we can absolutely take away from this, without a shadow of a doubt, is the fact that Pokemon is becoming more expensive when you look at the vintage sets, and that's expected. There's a finite amount of first editions left in the world, and I feel as though every other week someone's breaking them open, and that is increasing the price overall. They're becoming harder to get, especially in mint condition. So unless someone finds a warehouse or a factory full of first edition boxes, I expect the overall price to increase and continue increasing. It was very difficult to find much data in relation to the coronavirus. You know, I could spend days and days looking through eBay sold listings, but again, eBay is very difficult to look at. There's so many sold listings, there's so many prices that are out there that aren't the actual price. For example, you know, the best offer accepted price, you don't actually know the offer, you don't know how much it actually sold for. And normally these vintage lots, the vintage PSA cards, the vintage booster boxes don't actually go for the price listed. It usually is an offer or an auction, and you don't actually know the real price or the real value. So it's very difficult to gather information about this, especially in the month of April. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about this kind of episode. I will not be ditching you know, openings and that sort of stuff. I just thought it'd be kind of interesting to look at something related to this. Later in the week or early next week, I do have a video coming out about my own Pokemon business that I have started, and kind of like a behind the scenes look at all the things that I sell, the things that I buy. And then if that kind of like takes off in the future, then we can talk about how much money we make and all that kind of stuff. So let me know what you guys think. I just haven't had any product to open or show you, so I thought this would be a cool topic to kind of talk about. So thank you very much. I hope you're all well, stay safe, and I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you.